So how did condos and townhomes do in 2022? Well, I'm going to show you here. And the reason I say condos and townhomes is because in most multiple listing services, they don't make a clear distinction between condominiums and townhomes. I think of a condominium as kind of an apartment style complex where you're walking down a hallway to get to your unit. Townhomes typically are they're properties that maybe have their own entrance where you're walking into your own entrance as opposed to down a long hallway. But there's no clear distinction in the multiple listings between the two of them. So therefore, we group them together when we're looking at statistics. So what you see here is for 2022, the average condo price ended up at just over $1 million. And to be specific, $1,013,580,000 is our average sales price for 2022 in condos. And the condos did take a little bit more of a hit than single family homes did last year. But if we look at this from a historical perspective, we're still up significantly. So let's go back to the crash, or let's say the last boom. And you would have seen the same thing if you watch my video on single family homes. You would see a similar scenario going all the way back to the last peak. So the last housing boom was in 2007. It was when we had the stated income loans, the ninja loans, no job, no income, no assets, and you could still buy a property. So that was the last peak that we had. The market, of course, went down and started recovering in about 2011, and then we saw consistent growth all the way until 2018. This is very similar to single-family homes. We'd had 7 years of consistent growth. 2018, we hit a peak, saw a little pullback in 2019, and probably would have even seen a little bit more of a decrease after 2019. That's kind of typical. If we exclude the pandemic, if the pandemic didn't happen, we would have probably seen prices go down a little bit more after 2019. But we hit 2019, and then what happens? We have the pandemic in early 2020. That really affected condominiums. If you think about it, nobody knew what was going to happen with the virus. You had a lot of people who did not want to live in let's say, a shared environment. So anybody who could got out of their condominiums, and they either moved maybe out of the immediate Bay Area or maybe bought a single family home where they could work from home, not have to live in a very close proximity to other people. They could work from home, and also they had a little bit of outdoor space so that if they did get locked down again, they could actually have their own little backyard and get out a little bit. So that really affected condo prices. Then what happened was, as single family home demand went up and as those prices went up, then what we saw was a rebound of condominium prices. So single family homes reached a certain price. People said, okay, I'm priced out of that market, and they started going back into the condo market. So you see, we saw some growth in 2021, and then we peaked sometime in 2022. It remains to be seen what 2023 is going to be like. I'm actually shooting this on January 3rd of 2023. The real estate market hasn't really kicked off for the year yet, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But we did still, if you look at this historically, if you take out maybe 2017, 2018, you can still see that we've had some pretty significant growth in condominium prices going all the way back to 2011. So stay tuned for my monthly updates on the condominium market in 2023, and I will show you how things go then.